Sentire Media.
Ciao a tutti and welcome to Venice Talks, a podcast series dedicated to Venice in Italy. I'm your host, Monica Cesarato, a Venetian food and travel blogger. Join me as I share my insider knowledge to help you explore Venice at 360 degrees. In this weekly podcast, we'll dive into the heart of a city, uncovering hidden stories and connecting with the people who make Venice unique. The artisans, the writers, the fashion designers, the bloggers, the journalists, and more. Let's break free from cliché and discover the true essence of Venice, not just the monuments, but the vibrant people, the Venetians. Experience Venice the right sustainable way. You can find me on my blog at www.monicacesarato.com and across all social media platforms. Enjoy the episode and let's journey through Venice together. Welcome back to Venice Talks, Season 2, Episode 19. Hi everybody and welcome back to Venice Talks. Today my special guest is somebody very musical because for the first time ever on my episodes I've actually have a singer. Welcome Sara Longo, one of the best singers in Venice at the moment. Ciao cara, how are you?
Thank you very much. Ciao Monica. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay, so let's start. First of all, let's explain who you are. Who is Sara Longo?
Okay, so I am a jazz singer. I was born in Italy. Then when I was very little, I went to live in the United States for a few years and then in Paris. I've been living in Paris all my life, but since COVID, I have rented a place in Venice and I come very often in Venice where I enjoy life here. So I've been a jazz singer since 2014.
Okay, that's a long time.
So now it's basically, my 10th birthday of the career.
Well, you're young anyway.
Mezza età, how you say it?
No, okay, define. Wait, because now mezza, okay, so middle age now, let's define it. People live until 100, so actually I'm middle age.
Okay, a little less.
I mean, in my 50s, you're younger, much younger.
Yes, I'm 42.
Oh, really? Okay,
Ecco,
I got to say,
vedi.
honestly, I met you the other day, I thought you were in your 30s.
No, music keeps you young or kills you at 27.
Okay, I'll definitely got to start singing then. Okay, so first of all, how did you get into jazz music?
With my first CD. My uncle, I was in the mountains near Feltre for the summer, and he gave me Ella Fitzgerald's Jazz Lady album, the one with Undecided, It Don't Mean a Thing. So the great jazz standards, and I fell in love. I spoke English, so the excuse for him was, "Can you transcribe the lyrics of the CD? I like them very much, but I don't understand them all."
Okay.
So it was like a pedagogical excuse he gave me, and I stayed 1 week with the CD doing play, stop, and writing down the lyrics, and I basically wrote also down the solo, not with notes, but with onomatopoeia, with the lyrics that a scat can do, no? So that's my approach to jazz. I didn't know what improv was, but I was fascinated by this lady who reinvented a song. No, she in the CD she sings it once as is it written, and then she goes along interpreting it. So that was the freedom I think I was looking for in music. And I was 15, 16.
Okay. And before jazz, what did you used to sing?
Yeah, I began studying music very young. My parents are not musicians, but they always kind of liked my passion for studying music. So I studied piano in conservatory, classical.
Okay.
When I was young, there wasn't jazz in conservatory yet. So then I studied classical singing, which was very useful for.
Well, yeah, because it gives you I think everybody should start from the classical because you get a basic, don't you? You understand that your voice is an instrument.
Exactly. And I had a great teacher. He was also a theater teacher, so he taught me also a little bit of show.
Of course, because it's not just about how to use your breathing, but it's also how to express with your face, with your mouth and everything.
Exactly.
Okay. Cool.
So that was good years, middle school, high school. And then I started learning basically in the street. I lived in Paris, so I met gypsy jazz players. That's how I started to sing public with gypsy jazz. That is called jazz manouche. So Django Reinhardt, Grappelli, these protagonists. And then I discovered swing for dancers. So I made a very nice, let's say 4 or 5 years in Paris with these swing orchestras and all this. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God, I got so many questions to ask you, right? Because every time you mention something, I go, I got to ask her. Well, let's go in order first. I want to get a couple of questions out of the way because they're relating to something that is happening in Venice right now, and then I'll go back to you. So, so for the people that are listening, about a year ago, I interviewed the organizers of Women Fro Freedom in Jazz. And it was a series of concerts that are held in Venice. Is a charity event. They are charity events for with Women Fro Freedom. And this year they starting again. And of course, Sara is the protagonist of the first concert literally in a few days time that are gonna have a pleasure. Actually, this episode goes out the morning, and then in the evening you're gonna start with your concert. So it's on Thursday. So first of all, how did you get involved first with Women Fro Freedom, and then what inspired you to create your mystery tour project?
Let me think how Elena Ferraresi contacted me. I know because since I've been living in Venice, my main project is with Alvise Seggi, that is a double bass player, but also a cello player, arranger, composer, etc. We started playing jazz together in trio, quartet, with a piano, guitar as a, let's say, traditional combo. But then I had a duo, double bass and voice in Paris. I wanted to do that again. I suggested him to do it with me. And we just had an occasion to sing Beatles as a duo. We liked the way it sounded. We started using effects, and that is how it was born the Mystery Tour project. We played that in Venice a few months ago, and Alvise invited Elena Ferrarese, who is basically the artistic director of this festival. This festival that is at his 8th edition. So Elena came to see us, and she booked us. She wrote an article on us on the Gazzettino like 2 months ago, I think. And she really liked the project. So the idea is to have a 1-hour concert in duo where we do Beatles songs, but absolutely reinterpreted in a jazz way.
Okay.
That is, let's say, 3/4 of the concerts, and the other quarter is a tribute to women musicians, interpreters, authors, and also to us, because we have some original tunes inspired by all this.
Yeah. Gosh, in an hour you're gonna be packing loads. I'm really looking forward, and I'm very happy because, as far as I know, I have one of the front tables, so I'm very happy about this. Right, how did you choose the songs for the concert, like the Beatles songs, and from which albums? Did you follow, I don't know, from the beginning to the end, or did you go up and down? How did you pick them?
So that is a very nice question, and it was very particular how we did that with Alvise, because we have a different approach to choosing. I love the jazz approach, which is we go on stage. Sometimes you don't even know the musicians.
Nice
and it's basically the scene, the sound, the audience that inspires you the song after.
The soul.
Exactly. In a jazz gig, you prepare the first two. That's a tradition. You prepare the first two so musicians are ready, and then you just call the tunes, as they say in New York. But with the Beatles, we didn't do that because it's not in the jazz standards, in the real book of standards jazz, so we didn't know them so well, and we studied a lot. And then we just narrowed down to the ones that sounded better, that we personalized better. It has no historical approach at
because
all.
you have to rearrange them in a way, don't you, all together?
Yes.
Because the beats are different, the times is the rhythm and everything.
But yeah, that you will see at the concert.
Yeah, and also sung by a woman as well. That's
exactly.
I'm really looking forward to this because I love jazz music. I love all those kinds of sounds, and I love when modern music is reinterpreted with jazz, with a jazz rhythm. I love it. I love it. Which one?
And I think the Beatles was a particular challenge, because there is a trend of reinterpreting in jazz rock music. Because jazz is a lot softer, so it gives kind of a lounge sound.
Yes,
that I really hate. So the idea was to avoid that tranquillo, no? That
you're going up the lift kind of songs you were talking about.
Exactly. So I hope we succeeded. I think yes, at least we tried.
Mm-hmm. And which one was your favorite song?
Well, it's always like that. I always prefer the last one we rearranged. We rearranged Eleanor Rigby.
Okay.
And
that's
I think
that's your favorite to perform as well, not just to listen to. Okay.
Yeah. Well, because we just did it, so we just did it once. So I love the unknown.
Okay. I mean, I can't believe also, because how often do you get to practice with Alvise?
Very often. Well, we at least once a week. That is also something exceptional for jazz musicians that never rehearse.
Okay.
But we have been touring a lot in the last 3 months. We've been to South Italy, Spain, and France. And that is always occasion to sit in the mornings and lay down a new arrangement or work on something.
And when you were touring, were you touring with this music or something different?
Yes. With Mystery Tour, because the concert exists since 6 months, let's say. We wanted to record it, so we recorded it in Padova, and we signed with a French label. And the CD will be officially out in March 2025.
Oh la la! We need to go on social and tell all about it. Listen, how has your Italian-French background influenced your musical style? Because of course you lived in America, you got Italian parents, so the Italian music that is different from what is. Now I'm not talking about modern music, but let's say a certain type of music. French music, of course, totally different again. And then you have a jazz. How has this influenced your style? She goes like, I'm not so sure. You did a live question, did you?
Yeah, it's a difficult question. I think also because I never really listened to French and Italian music, basically. My parents didn't listen to a lot of music. It's very often that friends, like in Italy, sing something super famous and I don't know it. I look at them like that. So I think the influence, the first thing I thought when you asked the question is to be open to learn new languages while singing. I have done a lot of concerts in Brazilian music, not only bossa nova, but also samba. And I've never been to Brazil. But I knew I could grab a new language because I was used to travel and learn languages by the sound. So I have also another nice activity I have in Venice. When I come here, I do a workshop for singing jazz, and I explain everything by the groove, which has to be learned by the groove. So this habit to learn languages helped me a lot. Musically, maybe because when you do a jazz concert, so when you, as I said, you choose the songs on the moment, and the important thing is how you will reinterpret them. I like to integrate one French song, one Brazilian, and one Italian. I like to sing different languages because it's a different timbro, sound of voice.
Well, different vibe, everything's different, of course. Of course. Absolutely. But that's why I was trying to understand, because I, like you, I never listened to Italian music. I mean, not even when I was a kid. Always listened to a British or American. Now I'm into something completely different. So let's not even talk about that. So
About now you have to say it.
No, I will not own to this. Sorry. But I'm the kind of person that likes to listen to all different things. For me, I've got different sounds according to what I'm doing. So if I'm going very, when I'm trying to power walk in Venice, when I'm trying to lose some weight, K-pop, only because I don't understand a word, okay, but it's fast. Okay, so it's good for walking. If I'm working, it's got to be absolutely music that I do not understand a word of what is being said, because otherwise I start concentrating on the words and not working. Okay, and then if I want to sleep, some nice 80s music. I'm an 80s girl. Sorry, I'm an 80s girl. But I prefer, I like all genre. I like to listen to all different. The only thing is that I cannot really listen is really heavy rock. That gives me a headache. So, but that's me. So how does Alvise double bass integrate with your voice?
So the beautiful thing of double bass is that is two characteristics that go well together. Double bass is a very low instrument, no? The notes are very low. I have a quite high voice. So there's this contrast. The fact that there's nothing in the middle, I like that very much.
Okay.
First thing. Second thing is that voice and double bass are two fretless instruments. Fretless means they have no fret. And a fret is on a piano, the key, no, the tasto, and on a guitar, the vertical bars between the strings, no. That if you put your finger in between these two bars, you will have, and if your guitar is on tune, you will have a note, no. Double bass is not like that. It's a dangerous instrument, like violin, like cello, like oud, like Arabic oud. And these are all instruments that Alvise plays marvelously well, marvelously tuned. But also we have the liberty, as we are jazz men and women, that, how do you say, it's difficult to make understand people who study singing that they can sing a little bit out of key. It's not a problem. The important is to be together. So if at a certain moment we have enough ears open to listen, no, there we can interact, and the fretless characteristic comes to play, no. So
I'm just so intrigued now about Thursday.
I think now you will hear it. Now I told you, you will hear it on Thursday.
I can't believe it. I'm really looking forward. What was the biggest challenge in reinterpreting the Beatles music? At least from the point of view of voice, okay, let's say, because obviously instrument wise, okay, but from a point of view of your voice,
I don't know. I didn't find any particular challenge. I found that, for example, in the concert, there's two songs I decided to sing by myself. And the idea, because you know that Beatles always have another person, another musician having the second voices. No, they have a lot of double or triple voices. That's a beautiful thing about the Beatles. So no, it wasn't at all a challenge, but the idea was with a loop station, no, with a little pedal that replies what I do. I record and I do myself what Beatles do with a lot of layers of voice. But also what I like to do is making people sing. So people sing the main voice and I do the other stuff.
Oh, nice.
And that with the Beatles has been really easy because everybody knows them. So basically I can't think of any challenge. Maybe to choose the songs, because everything was so, we wanted so much to sing everything, but we had to stick to.
Oh, wow. Listen, let's talk about instead the women of jazz.
Yes.
Okay. How did you choose these women? How, and the tribute to them?
When I met. Okay. No, sorry. I thought you were talking about the festival.
No, I'm talking about the actual the singers that you chose.
That was really by chance, because I was singing already these songs in my jazz concert. Let's talk, for example, about Alfonsina y el Mar, who is a song from Argentina. That it's a traditional song, and it sounds very different from the Beatles. So I thought to put it, because we have to breathe at a certain point. We use a lot of effects, reverbs, delays, and chemical things in the Beatles part, and I wanted to make it a little bit more acoustic at the middle of the concert. So I took some very roots song I knew. There's one from Cesaria Evora also that Alvise suggested to me. And then we realized that they were all women, but I didn't think about it at the beginning.
But it turns out, actually, maybe you didn't realize, but your subconscious was telling you, women.
Yeah,
Since it's dedicated to women, the actual concert anyway.
Exactly.
Okay. So what's the difference, would you say, for you when, because obviously this event is going to be on a rooftop on one of the most beautiful cities in the world. What's the difference between when you're singing in the open air and when you're singing inside a small little venue?
Well, when I sing in the open air, I hope there is going to be more interaction with the city around us. I love when there's birds, cicale, even if it's a vaporetto, everything does a note.
Yeah, the vaporetto, somebody that honks underneath.
Exactly.
An ambulance passing, maybe.
Yes, yeah. Whatever sound is useful because you can grab to it and do improvisation onto it. So I think I prefer it. It's really different. It's really, you have another musician when you're outside. It's the outside.
Have you ever played there, or is this your first time?
No, I never played that.
Oh, you never played there? Oh, okay. That would be interesting. Because I think most of the noise is not going to be so much of a city. It's going to be of the plates of the people eating.
Yeah, exactly.
Very noisy, and people clinking the glasses and the waiters going up and down. But I got to say, having it done already for 4 or 5 years, I love it. It's a great experience. It's really beautiful. I mean, from a point of view of an audience.
The important thing when you do a concert is that people listen. Of course, I don't imagine the waiter shouting that.
No. I didn't mean it that way.
But we can also work with that if they do.
Yeah, I wouldn't do that. But what I'm saying is really funny because you're all listening, and every so often you hear a glass going or something like that.
But that we're really used to. It's very often that jazz goes with eating.
Yeah, well,
it's a good thing.
That's a great thing. So, which are the artists that most influenced your musical journey?
With no doubt, Ella Fitzgerald.
Oh, okay. She was that moment you listened to her. That's it, was it?
Sorry?
The first time you listened to her, that was it. That's what really changed.
Exactly. I always go back to her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then, of course, I've been listening to, I'm a big Björk fan,
I love Björk. Yeah.
Also Nordic jazz. I actually, when I listen to music, I listen to a lot of music without singers because there's also great jazz, instrumental jazz. So if I have to say some names, it's Count Basie, Oscar Peterson. Is that kind of swing I always loved. But in pop, I love Radiohead.
Love it. Yes. Listen, going back to Björk, how hard is to sing her songs? Because she's off the chart. I mean, I don't think there is any other artist like her.
Yeah, I think Björk for me is a bit like Billie Holiday. You don't have to imitate her. You don't have to learn anything from her, but you get inspired by her world. I love the visual work that Björk does with her music, the video clips. She's a whole, and also, of course, her person. Her interviews are really great.
Yeah. So, how has your approach to music changed over all these years? From when you first started to how you do things now.
Well, a lot. Every day it changes a little bit. I was, of course, absolutely meno male, but naive at the beginning.
Okay.
At the beginning, 5, 6 songs, and you go with them, and then you meet musicians that make you listen to albums, learn them by heart. Then you meet teachers. I had great teachers in Paris for jazz. I had one teacher that threw to me albums and said, don't come back before you know all the songs by heart of this album.
Oh, la la.
And so this was a really growing up moment. But still now, every time I meet new musicians, it's a new world now that opens. So,
and collaborations and they are born and so on. Listen, in good and in bad, which was your most memorable performance, whatever, the worst or the best, you choose, or both?
Okay. I have a quite short-term memory generally, so the thing that comes to mind
So if it was even the worst, that you're soon forgotten.
Exactly. No, the first thing that came to me as the best was the first house concert I did in Venice.
Okay.
Because it was a moment where we started understanding how much we could have fun with Alvise, Seggi, and Duo. So musically, it was an important moment for me. Humanly, it was huge because I arrived since 2 years in Venice, coming back and forth from Paris. And in Venice, I started teaching singing. I have a students' home, I work in a school, but I didn't know there could be audience for jazz because I knew there was one jazz club, not much of a scene. And a friend of mine said, let's do it in my garden. And that was magical. Yeah, it was a tiny garden. 40 people fit in super tight, like in a Parisian jazz club.
Nice.
And that was what I was saying about the birds mood.
Yeah, of course.
The silence of Venice I wasn't used to yet. And it was magical, really great. The music was perfect.
I want to be invited to these events.
Remember me next time. Organize it. You can't
remember me next time. I like this. I love this thing. And I think the more intimate, the smaller they are, the better they are, because it's just another feeling. It's like I always say to people when they say, oh, we should go and listen to, classical music. I always say, go to Musica Palazzo, mainly because it's not so much of a good performance, good or not performance. It's a question that you are literally sitting in front of the singers. It's like there, is something unbelievable. Exactly. Listen, what are the future projects after Mystery Tour?
Oh, good. You didn't ask me for the worst concert.
No, because you kind of very, it sounded like you didn't want to, but if you want to tell me, I'm all ears.
No, I was thinking the worst is that being a singer as a career is very hard. So the worst can be some marriages, hotels, where it can be very fun.
Did you have to sing to marriages as well? You went through that as well, did you? Okay. Now then
I still go through.
No, then I wouldn't put you through that. Sorry, no.
So let's say all the rest.
Yeah. No, well, I don't know. Sometimes it happens all of a sudden. You're in the middle of singing, and the microphone will not work, or I don't know, something like that. Of course, with somebody with your voice, probably wouldn't be a problem. But it's like me. I've been presenting books, and right 5 minutes before the book presentation, when people are supposed to arrive, we had a huge hailstorm. And nobody turned up, of course, so that's what I'm saying. That kind of performances, if you know.
Yeah, exactly. No. As a negative, I would say it is a hard job, a hard, not a hard life, because there's more of happiness, but it is really looking for opportunities that will be good, exactly, where people listen, and that is
of course. And saying that also, living in Venice is not a big city, and it's a city mainly of tourists. So I think in a way it's even harder to find the opportunities to do what you want. Not because the opportunities are not there, but because there are less, because the city is smaller, I assume. Am I right?
Yes, sure. But I go to Paris almost every month or every 2 months.
Good.
So it's okay. It's okay that it doesn't have a lot. And what I was saying before is that Venetians have a true love for music. There's a piano in every house. There's 2 private schools of music, La Giuseppe Verdi and La Suono in Paradiso, that have 700 kids registered. You
got Conservatorio as well. It's one of the oldest in the world. Yeah, one of the oldest in the world. And so, since we're talking about Venice and Paris, pros and cons of the 2 cities, because I love them both. I love Paris, so it's not like you're trying to sell it to me, okay? But pros and cons from somebody that lives one bit here and one bit there, from somebody that for a long time lived in another country. So I know what it's like to move out.
Pros of Paris is the cultural offer, international dimension, very good universities with very good events, absolutely. Everything from theater to outside how do you say, improvised parties where people just say come and play, and
nice.
There's a great for jazz. There's at least four venues every night that do jam session until 5 a.m. So
it is like a musician dream, Paris, I assume.
Cons? And cons. Wait, another thing also from Paris is that the musicians' work is recognized basically from the state, so you can have a salary when you do a minimum amount of concerts. Yeah,
of course.
So
okay, that helps you pay for the food and rent.
Exactly. That admits that the moment you don't play, you're rehearsing, you're working, so you have to be paid for that. So that's incredible. The cons is that Paris is a very big city with I can't really say one country, but what I enjoyed about Venice coming here is, of course, this little dimension where you know the girl who sells the bread after 2 days, and they say thank you for coming and live here. No, if you succeed in finding a house. Yeah. So the con of the country of Paris would be that. But saying that, I lived in 3 different neighborhoods in Paris, and I always was super friends with all my neighbors. So I think it's possible to live quite happily there. It's a very expensive city. I paid the same rent there for 30 square meters than I pay here for 80 with a terrace. So.
Ooh la la. Okay. So you actually pay 2 rents. Oh, good.
No. Now I don't have to pay 2 rents anymore. But it has been the choice of renting in Venice also has been because of that. And actually the pros of Venice is the human. Also, I'm a Parisian inside, so also the stupid things about Italy that Italians don't enjoy anymore, but the history of art. I say they don't enjoy it because you live in it every time, but
in a sense we take it for granted. Yeah. And the cons of Venice?
For the moment, I can't really find some. No, of course, the quantity of musicians is a lot less, but maybe it's good to find one project that you invest in more than 10 different ones. So
they should do more events like the one you're going to be attending to. I mean, for example, I like going to these kind of venues, small concerts, and in Venice there isn't that much choice. Even when people ask me, like something more like every week, but you say, okay, I go to this place every Tuesday or every Thursday, I know I can go and we're gonna have live music.
Do you know Aquarius Hotel?
Yes. Are they starting to do it?
Yeah. No, it's been 2 years. I've been singing every month there. Okay. They do it every Friday. So Aquarius is an hotel there are many in Venice. Beautiful. No?
Beautiful hotel in San Giacomo dell'Orio. Is fantastic.
Exactly. But the difference with that Aquarius is that the manager understood that he can transform the breakfast room, which is huge, in a concert hall on Fridays.
So it's not in the courtyard downstairs.
In the summer, it's in the courtyard.
Okay, yes. And in winter is up. Oh, I didn't know. Well, I didn't know first that he was doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's always you, or there's different kind of musicians?
No, it's always different kind of musicians, different styles. There's tango nights, different types of jazz. They did. I think something classical too recently.
They need to advertise more, because if somebody like me even knows everything about Venice, didn't know.
But you see, it's always full. That means I'm actively looking for another hotel where the manager wants to do that, because I think there's place to do 10.
Well, okay. I know for a fact that there is another one that was doing this Art Hotel, Angelo Art Hotel. But they were doing a series of concerts once a month or something like that. It was part of another with another company. I cannot remember. It was some part of an organization. But I do think they should, because I think, well, first of all, there's so many tourists, and tourists love this. I mean, whenever I see events like this, tourists love listening, to this kind of music and to, jazz music. Listen, now I'm going to ask you, what are your future projects after Mystery Tour?
Yeah. So we finished recording this album, and we are going to do a residency to record the second one with all songs we are writing ourselves.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. But it must be interesting.
Yeah, basically that's my main...
In Italian, English, French?
It's starting out in English, but you never know.
Okay.
Yeah.
You could do what was it called? Esperanto.
Exactly. It's the melody who dictates the language. So we will see.
Is there a particular message that you want to convey with your music, or you just, according to what you listen, to the notes you get, when the songs comes along?
You see, when you asked me the question about what was the challenge with the Beatles, actually, I look for no challenge. So I think this is the message that I want to transmit to people who listen to a concert, is to feel joy. And what some musicians that come to here to our concerts, what they say is that it was in Renaissance time, they called it sprezzatura, the art to dissimulate, how do you say, to disguise the technique. You don't have to make it feel hard. You don't have to show that it's technically hard. You have to do what it needs to be beautiful. And that is maybe I like the fact that people go away happy from a concert.
Yeah. Well, I suppose that you have to make it look like it's easy, because at the end of the day is what you love doing it. And when you love doing it, it is easy to make it look easy.
Exactly, because it's easy to spend 3 whole days on half a tune.
Exactly. Listen, what advice would you give to young musicians trying to emerge today?
Well, I like a lot the fact that I was invited to this Women Fro Freedom, because the association is beautiful, a beautiful initiative. And maybe young musician women would be that every instrument is also for women. There is no hard saxophone to breathe in, or hard drums to drum with.
Yes.
So first thing, I hope there will be a little parity in the future, come si dice parità, a little equality.
Equality, yes. Yeah. I never thought about that. That's true. But there shouldn't be any inequality, so I hope I said it right, in music, because at the end of the day, instrument shouldn't have a male or female, everybody should be able to play them with no problems, shouldn't it? I mean, it should be a very... Yeah, as you say, parity. No, you don't say parity in English. It's equality. I'm pretty sure it's only equality. Yeah.
And then just to dare do what you feel, and study to do it. Don't do things on half. Like you have to be happy of what you do. So do it until you're happy.
So, guys, if you want to listen to Sara, you got to come tonight, because this episode is going out literally on Thursday.
I'm going to change.
No, how are you going to change now? Okay, on Thursday, the 4th of July at 9 p.m. at Hotel Carlton on the Grand Canal. Is part of Women in Jazz, Women Fro Freedom in Jazz, the beautiful event organized by Women Fro Freedom. And is a great association, a great organization that that I have interviewed last season. So you can find the podcast in last season episodes. And Sara, where can people find you?
I have a website where I put my concerts. It's Sara Longo Sings all together.
Okay.
So it's a Sara without an H, saralongosings.com. The same thing for Instagram, it's Sara Longo Sings, and for Facebook, I'm just Sara Longo. So
I can't find you. Well, Sara, it was so nice talking to you. I love it. I mean, I think I found my new mood. I need to interview more singers and actors and stuff like
You
that.
should.
I love it because you're now, apart from your English is fantastic, but you got such an interesting, so many interesting things to say, and well, definitely looking forward to see you on plane. And thank you again for talking to us.
Thank you, Monica, and all good things with your podcast.
Thank you so much. Ciao, ciao.
Thank you. Bye. Bye.
Ciao, ciao. Thank you again, Sara, for the lovely chat. You can find Sara at www.saralongosings.com and on social medias as Sara Longo Sings. Thank you again for listening. Venice Talks podcast is a production of Sentire Media, created, produced and hosted by me, Monica Cesarato. Follow Venice Talks wherever you get your podcast, and if you want to book a food tour or a cooking experience with me, you can find me over at www.monicacesarato.com and on all social medias with the handle at Monica Cesarato, where you can follow my adventures around Venice. And don't forget, if you love this episode, please rate it and leave a review. It's very much appreciated.
Sentire Media.
Hey, podcast producers and show hosts. Do you want to join a podcast network that celebrates all things Italian? At Sentire Media, we understand the allure of Italy and its unique culture. Our devoted team of hosts and producers are all driven by their shared passion for Italy. And we work tirelessly to create the best lifestyle podcasts and content that will whisk you away to the very heart of Italy. With us, you can savor the mouth-watering flavors, get lost in the stories from the past, break down the cultural barriers, and truly immerse yourself in the vibrant traditions of this intoxicating country. If you have a great podcast idea or are already in production and would like to join Sentire Media, head over to sentiremedia.com, that's SENTIRE media.com, and find out how to submit your show.